Good to see all of you here. My name is Allie. Pronouns are she and her, and I am the senior lead of Wellness and Healing Justice here at Social Justice Partners. And every month we have our Wellbeing Series where we invite folks, other practitioners and folks who do healing work as well as well-being work to be a part of this space to share what it is that they do, the magic they do in the world. And this month we have Jessica Rihal. Is it Rihal?
Rihal.
Rihal, yes, here to lead us in a small space yoga practice. Today it's about movement and getting in the body. And so, really excited that Jessica is here with us to lead us in this practice. So, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Jessica to lead us through this practice this next hour.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here leading a movement mindfulness practice for all of you. And just to give you a little bit of background on me, my name is Jessica. I'm a yoga instructor. And I became a yoga instructor because I think that movement and yoga and wellness should be equitable for all of us. And I felt like there was not enough of that. So I wanted to be part of the change that I want to see, much like yourself, I imagine. I'm in Irvine, California, and today's practice is going to be mostly seated. So if you're already seated, perfect. Any kind of chair is going to work. We will have, towards the end of the class, we will come and do like a gentle standing vinyasa. But as Ali said, the purpose for this is to focus on mindfulness and to move our bodies with a heavy emphasis on stretching and relaxing. And there will be a few traditional yoga postures as well. All right, I have said enough. Let us get started. So find a comfortable seat in your chair. Maybe you adjust it so the soles of the feet are rooted down into the ground. So find me that comfortable seat. And I would like you to sit up as tall as possible. Sometimes we say sit up straight. It's not always straight. Sit up tall. Draw your shoulders up and then let them relax down. And bring your chin a little bit down towards your chest. And if you're leaning against the back of your chair and you're sitting up tall, that's fine. Otherwise, just come towards the edge a little bit. Close the eyes or soften your gaze. Allow the hands to rest on the tops of the knees or the thighs. And just start to notice any feelings that are right on the surface, any emotions, feelings of anxiety or busyness, or maybe you're like, oh gosh, after this, I have to do this and I have to do that. Just scan anything on the surface that has the potential to move you away from this present moment. And we're just going to acknowledge it here, whatever it is that's on the surface. Observe that and make a decision to be in this moment. And when you notice through our practice in the next hour or so, when you notice your mind start to wander, your thoughts start to go, come back to the sensation of sitting up tall and breathing the air in, filling the lungs up nice and full, filling the chest, feeling the air make your chest rise, maybe filling it down in the seat or the belly. And then exhaling softly through the nostrils or the mouth if that's more comfortable. And notice the way your body settles in on the exhale. There's a subtle rise. As you inhale, you expand, your rib cage moves slightly apart. Pausing briefly between breaths and then exhaling, settling back the seat. Bringing your awareness to the soles of the feet, the earth underneath you that supports you. And then draw that awareness from the soles of the feet up to the sits bones. Focus on that grounding and rooting sensation in your body. Let the shoulders drop away from the ears and keep that chin tucked down a little bit towards the chest. Feel the way that elongates the back of the neck. And with your hands somewhere in your torso, maybe one hand over the chest, one hand over the stomach. Let's take 3 deep breaths together with audible exhales. Take that surface energy and put it on pause for a second. So starting here, big breath in. Being mindful to pause between breaths just a moment and exhaling to let go. Exhale through the mouth, let it be audible if that makes sense. Pausing before the next big slow inhale. And letting it go. Next breath, last deep breath here together. Pausing at the top of the inhale and exhaling, letting go of that tension, that surface level tension that was right in the front of your mind. Let it go. Visualize whatever that thought was, whatever that feeling is, in a box right outside of the room that you're in right now. We can come back to it if we choose. Let it go. Bring the hands down. And we're going to start super gently here. We're going to work our way down from the head and neck all the way down. So staying seated and gently blinking the eyes open here. Just start to rock your head down and back. So chin all the way down to the chest, gaze comes down, and draw the face all the way up. Look up to the sky, draw the chin forward. And a couple more times at your pace, looking up and down. Feeling any tightness behind the neck here. Noticing what's tender and being gentle with yourself. Take one more time in this direction. And keep your breath moving. Come back to center here, and I will just look from side to side. So as you look over the left shoulder, look over the right shoulder, notice where your gaze stops here. So maybe your gaze is just like right over the shoulder on either side. Maybe it's further back on one side than the other. Just kind of take note. I'll move through this a couple more times, noticing where your gaze lands. And come back to center. We're going to get into the neck a little bit more. So bring the arms in front of you, 90-degree angles, and we'll stack whichever arm you're stacking on top. So if you're stacking the left arm on top, we're going to move to the left side. So let's do that. Everybody bring the left arm on top here. Bring the shoulders out and away from the body. And then bring the arms down to be in alignment with the shoulders. And you're going to slide, while keeping your torso centered, slide the arms over to the left and then back to center. Try to keep your head, your neck, your torso centered, and it's going to feel really weird at first. But as you warm up through the stretch, you're going to feel the left scapula start to move a little bit. And that is connected to your neck, those tight ropes in your neck. And we're just offering a little bit of movement. These are areas that traditional exercises are, and sometimes yoga postures can be difficult to target. So we're just warming up those muscles, getting some oxygenated blood flowing. And then let's drop the arms down, relax the shoulders, and then gaze over your left side one more time, as far as you can. And notice if your gaze lands on a spot that's further. Come back to center. And if it did, that means congratulations, you released some of those muscles. We're going to do this on the other side. So right arm comes on top, left arm on the bottom. Pull the elbows away from the body and keep the forearms in alignment with the shoulders. Torso, neck, and head stay forward. And start to slide the arms over to the right side. So notice if this side feels more open, or maybe it feels like there's some speed bumps there, that's fine. We want to take our time to get together, our practice together, just to kind of be the witness without judgment, without an emotional attachment to how things are, whether that's in our thoughts or in our body. So let's try one more time over to the right, being careful, being mindful, and then arms back to the center. Relax here, let the muscles settle back down, and then we'll draw the gaze over to the right. And just notice if there is more range of motion here. And back to center. So for this next posture, let's bring the left arm behind the back and just kind of fold it up as far as you can. I'll give you a back view so you see what's going on here. Left arm behind the back, doesn't have to be this far, maybe it's farther. Opposite arm is going to come out, palms forward. So really extending through the wrist here, wrist extension here. So one arm's behind the back, fingertips are resting on the body, opposite arms out, and draw that forward in front of you. Your gaze can be on me, it can be fixed and relaxed in front of you, on the ground. And breathe as you move the shoulder forward and back to the side. Try to relax the traps away from the ears, the shoulders away from the ears as you find this motion. And maybe your arm comes back a little bit further. One more on the side. And then we'll come back to center. Right arm will come up behind you. Left arm extends. Really flex through the wrist. And breathe as you move through the motion here. And notice where your wrist is. You want to try to keep it approximately in alignment with the shoulder. If it's up really high or down really low, try to bring this to a neutral space. And keep the flexion or the extension through the wrist so the palm stays forward. Fingertips are active here. Maybe move a little bit further back if you have that range of motion and come forward. One more time. And we'll stop at center with the arm. Release the opposite arm to your side. And then we're going to draw this arm all the way across the body and hook it with the opposite arm. So really just kind of holding your forearm in with the opposite arm to kind of pull and stretch on the shoulder here. And then release, wrists out, palms out. Find this on the other side. Nice deep breath, let go of the tension and come back to center. I'm gonna come back to my seat here. And we're gonna get into the neck just a little bit more. This is one of my favorite ways to stretch out the neck. So interlace your fingers together and then bring them behind your head. Soles of the feet are down on the ground and you're rooted. So adjusting yourself as needed. And you wanna bring your head into the hands here, this little cradle that you've created. Kind of catch your head where it meets your neck. And from here, I would like you to press your head gently back into your hands and resist that with your hands. So your hands are pressing into the head at the same time. And I want this to be super gentle. I want you to feel the muscles activate, but I don't want you to be shaking or like stressing your neck out a lot. Just a gentle counter stretch here with the head pressing into the hands and hands pressing into the head. And see if you can relax your shoulder blades and maybe even open up the elbows as you keep that gentle pressure going. Take one more breath. And exhale, slowly release out of this. And give me a little swivel on the neck. Feel like your head feels like it's lost 2 pounds after this. It just feels very lighter because we've activated some of those muscles in the neck. Very good. From here, we'll stay seated or you can stand if you prefer. It doesn't really matter here. We're going to bring our hands to heart center and we'll come through a really simple seated vinyasa. This is something that you can do anytime you need to just reinvigorate yourself, maybe get a little pep in your step after lunch or whatever the case would be. So we sit up tall, soles of the feet planted down, hands at heart center, gaze is soft. Take an inhale here, draw the palms up over your head. And on your exhale, we're going to find goalpost arms or cactus arms, bending the elbows at a 90-degree angle, palms forward. Inhale, extend the arms long and slightly back, bringing the chest forward. And on the exhale, draw the arms forward and kind of curl in on yourself. You want to think of pressing the shoulder blades back behind you and the chin to the chest, fingertips reach forward. And on an inhale, or exhale rather, we'll pull the arms in back to heart center. Take a moment here. We're going to go through that a few more times, a little faster. So on your inhale, draw the arms overhead, palms touching or fingertips touching. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, arms long, maybe back if that's there for you. And exhale, draw the arms together. Get really dramatic, really, really fold in on yourself here. Chin to chest, fingertips reach forward, stretch between the shoulders. And exhale, draw the hands back to heart center. Arms up on the inhale. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, draw the arms out. Maybe the gaze comes up this time. Exhale, draw the arms together, close the curtains. Inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale, pause, hold it. Soften the face. One more time, inhale, draw the palms up. Exhale, cactus arms. Get as dramatic as you want with the breath. Inhale, open the arms nice and wide. Exhale, draw the arms together, round through the shoulders. Hands back to center here. Take a beat, take a moment, close the eyes. Notice what that vinyasa, linking the breath with this gentle movement, has done to you. Notice how you feel, how much more open you might feel in the body. And take a moment here just to kind of consider the fact that there are things beyond your control that you can't change, but that doesn't change what you have power and control over, which is how you approach situations, maybe the words you choose to speak, the people you choose to love on or to gather close to you. You have a lot of power and control, even in situations that seem out of your hands. I want you to take a moment to find contentment with that idea. Even in situations that feel powerless, you have power, you have control, and so much of it, right? That's that feeling sink in for just a moment. Blink the eyes open if they're not already there, and bring the hands down to rest on the thighs here. We're going to get into the hips a little bit, or start to get into the hips just a little bit here. So from a seated position, again, coming close to the edge of your seat. And if you need to adjust it, if you're in an adjustable chair, please do. We're going to start by extending the left leg out. And you want to press out through the heel, toes are up. If this is a lot, you can keep the heel supported on the ground. That's absolutely fine. But from here, we want to flex the toes up, point the toes. Flex the toes, point the toes. So we're working the hips a little bit just by lifting, right? It's adding some strength work to the hip here. But then we're pulling through the backs of the legs and the tops of the feet by flexing and pointing through the toe. So especially in a role where you sit a lot, even if you're sitting while you're doing this practice like I am, you can still find a way to engage your body and get the blood moving and the muscles working. So on relax, point and flex, let's just do some circles with the toe. So a couple circles in one direction, and then clockwise or counterclockwise. Let's switch it up. Bring this, come back to neutral and start to draw the knee up, if you can, a little closer to the body. And just kind of hug it in, shake it out, wiggle out the foot, and we'll switch to the next side. So opposite foot extends out, maybe the heel is elevated up. Flex the toes up towards you, and exhale, points. It might sound like Rice Krispie treats. It might be silent. Keep the breath moving. Notice if you're holding your breath. And then again, find some circles in one direction and then the other. And then we'll bring the knee up to center. And then in for a little hug if that's there for you. and drop the feet down to the ground. And from here, we're finally going to come to standing if you're not already there. And similar to the seated vinyasa we did, where we're, doing this thing with our breath, we're going to do a standing half sun salutation. And your chair can certainly be used as prop, especially when we're forward folding, if you need some extra support in your lower back. I'm going to switch over to this side. So taking a nice stand, again, getting rooted down through the soles of the feet like we started. Draw the shoulders back and away from the ears. And we'll bring the arms out and overhead. Big inhale. Exhale, fold forward. So we're going to bend at the hips, and your hands are going to come to the knees, to the ankles, to the ground, or to your chair. Wherever you land, allow the torso and the top of the body to be a little heavy and to be supported through your hands or your chair. And on an inhale, we're going to halfway lift to lengthen through the spine. So you really want to think of yourself as like an upside down L. You want the back of the spine to be long so your gaze comes down and the back of the legs are nice and long as well. And on the exhale, we'll fold forward again. Inhale, coming up, swooping the arms up and overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do that a few more times, a little bit faster. So inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, folding forward, resting on the chair or on the thighs. Halfway lift on an inhale. So we lift the torso up a little bit to lengthen through the spine. Gaze is down. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up. Arms out and open overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, arms up, upward salute. Exhale, fold. Nice and soft. Wherever you are here, let the head be heavy. Let the weight of the upper body anchor you down deeper into the fold. Halfway lift. Lift that chest up a little bit. Exhale, one more time, fold. And inhale all the way up. Hands at heart center. Soften the gaze, close the eyes, hands to the body here, take a couple breaths. Come back into that idea, that concept of reclaiming control over the things you can control in powerless situations and letting go of the rest, leaving it to the faith at hand that you might have and trusting that things work out in due time. It might not always seem that way, but it's important that we have that understanding, that we have that faith, that we have that trust, that if we are controlling the things that we can control, if we're putting our best foot forward and putting in the effort and the work, things will settle the way that they should. Blinking the eyes open here, we're going to continue with a few more standing movements. And I do want to start to get into the hips a little bit more. We woke them up a little bit while we were seated. And now we're going to use the chair to help us get into some gentle options for opening. So whatever side you have your chair on, lift that leg and bring it to the seat. So with the chair assisted, this is almost like a half squat, right? So instead of me being on the ground on my knees or on my feet and in this low squat, I could do it from the chair kind of with this elevation and one side at a time, which makes it much more accessible. So we want to keep your hips squared off, so forward, and your leg is going to be out, obviously like mine, just a little bit. And from here, you can kind of play with what feels good to you and your body. You might not feel any sensation here, but maybe if you bring your hands down, you feel it a little more, right? Maybe if you kind of lean over the thigh or the knee a little bit, you feel it a little more. Maybe if you bring your torso over the knee, you'll feel it a little more. So I encourage you to kind of play where you feel that sensation in your hips. You might even play with the placement of where your foot is, right? This is a great way to use your chair or your yoga prop, whatever you're calling it, to assist you in getting into your body with ease. And then we'll come back to center here and switch sides. Take a moment, take your time, bring your foot up, and start to explore where that sensation is for you. So maybe one side feels a little bit different than the other, which is almost always the case in our bodies. A few more breaths here. And then release, come back to center. And we'll keep the chair where it is for now. We're going to continue standing for a few more moments. And from here, just come and step in front of your chair like me. Just give yourself a couple feet before, and we're going to get into just some standing posture. So with the left foot, first of all, toes pointed forward, soles of the feet are rooted down. Step forward a little bit with the left foot. And then the right foot kind of rotated on the heel a little bit so that it's at approximately a 45-degree angle. Keep the hips squared. Both legs are long and straight. Reach the arms up here. And then bend gently into that front knee. Just a nice gentle bend. If you're feeling strong and warmed up here, you can reach the arms and bring the gaze up overhead. Maybe reach the arms back behind you. Really rooting into the front heel and the knife edge of the back foot. Bring the gaze back to neutral in front of you and draw the arms forward to the chair. So they might reach your chair handles or the base of the chair. Keep the slight bend in that front knee. And maybe readjust the feet if you need to and find a little forward fold here. Now, if the chair is in the way, bring the hands down to the ground if that feels good for you. Otherwise, use the chair to meet you halfway and support you. Really press the back heel down so there's a nice extension on the calf muscle. And then we'll step forward, shake it out, come back away from the chair, and we'll find that on the other side. So taking a moment to visualize where you're going to step the opposite foot forward, being mindful of these simple movements here. Opposite foot steps forward, start to bend through that knee. Press that back heel down to extend through the calf. Arms come up for warrior one. A baby warrior one. Maybe draw the shoulders and the arms and the gaze back a little more, if that feels okay in the low back. And on your exhale, start to bend forward over that front thigh. Again, pressing the back heel down. If the back heel doesn't want to press onto the ground here, step it in a little bit more. Inhale, step forward so the feet meet here. Bring the arms up and overhead. Upward salute. And exhale, hands to heart center. So we're standing right in front of the chair now, directly in front of the chair. You're going to step back with the right foot this time. And we'll keep the back foot on a complete angle. So the knife edge of your foot is pointing towards the back of you. And again, the front knee will be bent, and you'll find the arms out to a T for warrior two. So really gentle, supportive. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Keep the arms open. Take a breath. Gaze comes over the front finger. And on the exhale here, again, hand can come to the top of the thigh here, and you can reach up to the back arm. The back arm can come down. This hand can come to the chair. There's no wrong way to do this. But keep the hips open towards the side and think of a string being tied around this top hip. and pulling it up as you bend through this front knee. And then come back to center here. Take an inhale, step forward. Shake it out. Stomp out through the feet. And then we'll step the left foot back. Again, left foot comes out to an angle. Your opposite foot comes out to the angle behind you. Front knee is bent. Arms open to a T. Palms down, shoulders away from the ears. Really press into the heel and each of the toes of the feet. Feel nice and strong here. Take one last breath, and on your exhale, find your side angle here. Find your support however you like on this side. Inhale back to warrior two. And exhale, step forward, stomp through the feet here. Take a moment, we'll come back to center. We're staying standing for the time being. Close the eyes and bring the hands to heart center. So if you don't want to close your eyes, just drop the gaze and soften them. And I want you to press your thumbs into the sternum, into the body, right into the chest. I want you to connect with the beating of your heart. And feel the way that heartbeat is connected to the breath. With the eyes open here, drop the hands down to the sides and bring the palms forward. You're going to get into a little bit of balancing, but again, you can use your chair for support here, so make sure your chair is next to you. So rooting down through the left foot, doesn't matter which side you start on, rooting down through the left foot. We're going to take the opposite foot and draw the toes out towards the side of the room. The knee is going to follow. So your hip is kind of pulled open just a little bit here, right? And we're going to find tree pose. So if this is difficult, and no shame if it is, because balancing is really super hard, stay here and focus on keeping your balance and keeping your hip open, right? But if you're feeling really good here, if you're feeling really stable, you can draw this foot up into the calf or even into the upper thigh. Just avoid pressing into the knee itself. So if you need some support, this is where the chair comes in here, right? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with leaning into support. Let the breath flow. Find your balance. If you come out of it, come back in it. And if you're struggling, find a focal point. Find a wall clock or a speck on the ground or the buckle from your shoe. Find something to draw that stillness from. And then hands back to center or to your support. Draw the knee forward, point the toes, slide it down. Shake out the legs. We'll find that on the other side. Take a moment, prepare for your balance. Sometimes I like to rock up and down on my feet to really root and engage through all of the corners of my foot. So I encourage you to try that as well. So you're going to root down through the opposite foot. Find your drishti, find your focal point here to draw stillness from, and then find your tree pose. So maybe you're here, right? Maybe you're here. Maybe you're here. Maybe you're somewhere else. Breathe into the trembling you're feeling in your ankle and the bottom of the feet. Notice your default response when something is hard or stressful. Notice if you're pushing or pulling or feeling like giving up. And how can we just be? How can we just observe? How can we just keep rolling with the punches, right? One more breath here. Hand to support. Draw the knee forward. Point the toe. Slide it down. Let's kick it out here. And we're going to make our way back to a seat here. Fine, eventually. But while we're standing, let's find one more half sun sal, just to even it all out. Come back to your center here in front of your support. Inhale, draw the arms up and overhead. Fill the lungs up all the way till you get to the bottom. And when you think you're done, take one last sip and relax, let go, forward fold, exhale. Allow yourself to be heavy through the heels. Allow the neck to relax down, the head to relax down. Nothing needs your attention right now aside from your breath. You don't need to watch the screen or look over here, look over there. Just relax, take these moments to yourself. Inhale, halfway lift. Lift the torso and the chest up off the thighs. Gaze stays down. Exhale, relax, release. Inhale, pick the body up, upward salute. Slowly unpeel your body up, palms overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. One more time, the sequence. Inhale, draw the palms up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift all the way up. Ooh. Draw the hands down. Let's take a moment just to kind of give our thighs a little bit of love, the hamstrings. Feeling we did employ a little bit of stretching on them today, so give them a little bit of love. And then let's settle back down into our seat here. So again, coming towards the edge of the seat, as far to the edge of the seat as you can. I'm gonna adjust my seat up a little bit. You're gonna continue to get into the hips just a little bit. So bring your knees really, really wide. Get a nice comfortable wide seat going on. And then again, it doesn't matter what side you start on, but I'm gonna start on my right side. So just start to extend the arms down. Gripping onto the opposite side, opposite thigh with your palm of your hand. Draw that right hand down, arm down as far as you can. I want you to feel like the sides of your body is decompressing a little bit here. So wherever you stop, where you start to feel that is perfect. Maybe the gaze comes up, maybe it just comes to the side or the corner of the room. And then inhale and lift up. And we'll slide down through the other side. So bring that knee as open as you can. Extend the arm. And just start to kind of dip your body down until you feel like the side of your vertebrae and your lower back are starting to kind of peel away from each other. Just creating a little bit of space in an area of your body that is usually very compressed. We'll do this on the other side once again. So maybe you're opening up a little bit more. Maybe the arm comes up. Kind of like a falling star. And we'll take that on the other side. I think one of my favorite things about this type of movement, our physical yoga practice, stretching, is you're really tuned into how quickly your body adapts and your mind, right? When we're doing super difficult things like cardio and lifting heavy, those are good and they have their purposes. But it barely gives you the time to notice the way you're improving, you're moving so quickly, the way your body's changing, what your body's saying to you. I like the slowness. It really speaks to you in your body. So coming back to center, and then adjusting back just a little bit. Let's come back into the hips. We got side body a little bit. We got a little bit of hip action. Let's round out our practice now that we're nice and warmed up. And I like to think of this as, if you are a yogi, if you are someone who practices a lot, this is a nice variation for king pigeon pose, which is notoriously a difficult posture, especially if you have questionable knees. So I'm going to give you a seated option for this, and it's really just a figure four. It's nothing special. So I'm going to start with my left ankle, grabbing it and bringing it to the top of my right knee. In my body, this is super intense. I sit for work most days, right? And I'm tight always, even though I practice a lot. So If that's you and you feel this intensely, this is a good place to stay, right? Keep your foot flexed. This will keep your kneecap in place. Will activate the muscles and the tendons around it to keep that tight. If this feels like nothing to you, if you're like, this is how I drink my coffee in the morning, start to bring the torso down. Think of bringing the forehead down towards your chin. Just find like a seated forward fold on top of this if this doesn't feel intense for you. Another thing you can do is just use your hand to draw the knee away. We're just going to take a few more moments, a few more breaths here. Keep the spine nice and long and the chin down to the chest. And as we're winding down in our practice, if you want to keep your eyes closed here and move through this more like a meditation, please do. Again, noticing what's on your mind, the thoughts that are constantly running through like a train station, right? Taking a moment to realizing your power, the things that you can control. One of the biggest things are the thoughts that you choose to engage. So when you take mindfulness moments and practice this mindfulness, part of that is observing instead of reacting or forming an opinion or going into immediate action. It's observation, and it gives you a different perspective outside of yourself the more you practice it. So let's start to ease into that idea and release that leg and kind of kick it around to get the blood flowing again. Maybe like your fist in the hip here, switch sides. So taking your time. And again, this is never a competition in your body. This is always, curiosity. Like what's available on this side? Not on this side, the other side, I did this, and on this side, I want to be able to do it too. It's not. It's not how it works. So noticing what's available on this side, is it more open? Is it closed off? And just work with what you have. It's a good place to practice gratitude also for what you do have. I know that this might feel really intense for some of us, so of course, if you need to take a break or come out of it, please do. But I do also invite you, in on the mat, off the mat, in life in general. Sometimes, well, all the time, I feel like everything is difficult. Increasingly so as time goes on. Everything is hard. But sometimes it's just hard. And sometimes it's like damaging and painful. And same goes with, sensation in your body. Sometimes the feeling is new and you don't know how to deal with it. You don't know where it's going. And sometimes it's actually hurting you, right? Like you can't breathe through it. And it's up to you to make that determination. Things are difficult. You do deal with difficult things all the time. And sometimes they become less difficult. But, your magic is determining what you can get through and get stronger through the other side and what is actually going to be detrimental and take too much from you. So our practice is a really good place to, be able to observe that. One more breath here and then let go. If you haven't already, slowly release. If you're with me, slowly, slowly, slowly. Shake out the legs, shake out the feet. Bring the shoulders back, roll the shoulders back, both of them, and then forward. Coming back to center, we're going to stretch out the neck one last time just to bring it back home. So again, the way we started, coming to center, gaze is neutral. We're going to look up, draw that chin forward, and down, draw the chin down to the chest. And let's link our breath with this. So if you can, inhale as you come up. And exhale as you come down. Back to neutral, looking over the right shoulder. as far back as you can. And then over the left shoulder, moving nice and slow. One more time in each direction. And come back to center, and we'll do a seated side twist. So very similar to this, but we're going to move our torso. So starting at neutral here, start to move the torso. So at the hips, start to move the whole body over into the opposite, into one side. It doesn't matter what side. And if you have sides on your chair, you can grab for that. If you have a back of the chair that's accessible, grab with your hand that's closest to it and keep your spine long. And we're just sitting into the stretch. And the gaze can come back behind the shoulder too if that feels good. And if the back of the chair is too high for you, like mine is, bring your hand to the back of the chair, the seat, and just find a little bit of tension there. And then we'll come back to center, slowly rotating your spine back to center and to the other side. Torso moves with you, and reach for whatever is there that can help anchor you a little bit deeper into the twist. Being mindful to keep the spine long and peel that chest open, peel the gaze to the back of the shoulder or over the shoulder rather. And back to center. And then we're going to revisit one more posture from the beginning. So again, just cracking open the lower back, the side body, lower back. Bring one arm down along the thigh and start to lean the torso over the thigh or towards the thigh. And reach up and over with the hand. So as you're reaching in one direction, keep the opposite hip and foot planted down. You might notice they want to lift up with you. And you really want to anchor and move the limbs away, creating space, decompressing the area that is tender on most all humans. Come back to center and we'll reach into the other side. So opposite arm down, reach, decompress that spine. I like to think of spiraling my chest up towards the sky in these postures. That cue might not make sense to you, but if it does, you might feel a deeper opening here with less effort. And back to center here, drawing the hands onto the knees, bringing the knees together, and coming back to the back of the chair to sit up nice and tall. Again, drop the gaze, soften the eyes or close them. We're going to find the end of our practice in stillness with a little bit of a guided meditation. I urge you to take from it what you'd like and forget the rest. Breathing deep here, feeling the body settle down and kind of tuning into the heat that we built together, the warmth that we built together, the blood flow that's circulating now that might not have been before. And as we cool down, as we come back into stillness after our movement practice, allow the thing that stood out most to you, or the thing that made sense to you today, or the thing that you enjoyed the most, anything of value that you gained today during this practice, that stand out here. Just take a moment to sit with that and to invite that idea, that feeling into your life off of the mat, outside of your movement practice. What are some ways that you can disconnect from the need to control the outcome of the things that you have no control over or little control over? How can you find peace in your own effort? How can you clearly define the things that you can control? And how can you find the awareness that that's good enough? Your efforts, your work that you're putting in, it's for the right intention. It's getting you somewhere. It's putting you, might be redirecting you into the right direction. But they're worthy. The work that you're doing is valid. The things that you're trying to make happen, they matter. Take the next few moments to start to come back into the present moment, to your body. Maybe blink the eyes open if they're not already there. Bring the hands together. You just rub them as fast as you can, building up a little bit of energy, a little bit of warmth in the palms, a little faster. And then when they're warm, bring those palms to a place on the body that needs it, that needs that love, that needs the healing energy. The first place you think of is the perfect place. Let that good intention, that energy that you just built up, soak into your body so that you believe it, so that you receive it. And you can release your hands here. And again, blink your eyes open if they're not already there. Thank you for trusting me to lead you in the practice. I hope that you enjoyed it. And Ali, thank you so much for having me. This is the end of my practice.
Thank you so much, Jessica. And also, where can folks find you, practice with you?
Yeah, so I have a video library available on YouTube that is free. There are so many classes, intense classes and very gentle classes like today. You can type in Jessica Rihal or Jessica Jade Yoga is the moniker I go by on the internet. There's lots of hours there. But also, I am an Everybody Los Angeles virtual instructor. So if you are a member of that gym, which I highly recommend, if you live near it, there's an on-demand video library where you can practice with me there as well. And that's how you can find me.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, thank you again, Jessica. So appreciate you and all that you do and all the work that you've been doing. And yeah, take care, everybody. Have a great week.